do a sound check. Sound check, 1, 2, 3. Oh, my friend Billy had a 10-foot woolly, showed it to his neighbour Sue. She thought it was a snake, so she hit it with a rake. And that's only 2.2. I have no idea checking the sound, I just realised. That's pointless, I'm going to have to cut it out now. Cut this part out. Future me. Cut this part out. Alright, so I've already gone through the attacking operators now, so I guess I'm doing the defenders. I started my Bay, and my personal favourite defender, Smoke. I mean, I don't know why I attracted this guy, but I mean, I've got literally everything. I've got some headgear for him. I can't remember what the headgear's called. I think it's called something like Residue. I basically don't really like it. I honestly think it looks like crap. But there's like no others I can get for him really. So his uniform, on the other hand, I did get a uniform for him. I got the Chemical Warfare one because he's Smoke. Chemical Warfare just makes sense. So I use his shotgun instead of his FMG9. FMG, yeah, FMG. Because I like the shotgun. I have the no sights. I actually have all the sights unlocked for it. This is one of the first ones I did that for. Yeah, I think it's the only weapon I've ever done that for. But I don't know why. I just tried to try everything with this thing. I just really like it. I use the laser sight. Again, I've explained that in the last video why I use laser sight on shotguns. And I have the Cobalt skin on this because he's my main. I have last year's, well, not really years, technically last season's emblem on. So like if you get gold at the end of ranked, I'll get the emblem. Yeah, you probably get how those work. I got gold last year. I'm aiming for like platinum this year. Probably not gonna get that, but you know, it's nice. Got a little crow on and everything. I keep it on there as a sign of shame or pride or whatever. But mainly I use the gold Chunker charm on it. It gives me luck. Pro wrestling, why I have a gold Chunker charm? Well, I have a gold Chunker. He's not really my favourite operator, but I saw that I could get a gold Chunker before the buff, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. Anyway, what's this one called? SMG11, yeah. Right, SMG11 I use for a secondary. You know, I'm going to go into more detail. I'll use the reflex, the compensator. Actually, I probably shouldn't use the compensator because, I mean, it's not very good, is it? I might actually put the suppressor on it. I might. Yeah, I'm going to put the suppressor on it. Change that suppressor. I don't know why. I just think it would be a douchebag coming through because I can just headshot someone from across the map. They don't know what killed them. They don't even hear the gunshot. So also I like to. I don't roam with him more. I stay like I room next to the objective and I'll come in as soon as anyone tries to breach. It's not really roaming. I feel like I stay too close to the objective for it to be called roaming. But yeah, I do that. I use the laser sight, which is fucking pointless since there's literally no point ever where I'd use this thing without like without aiming down sights because of its recoil, I guess. So I use the Union Jack skin like I do for Sledge and Thatcher. Although I might put the Cobalt weapon skin on it, I'm probably going to stick with the Union Jack. Yeah, I've got the red crow thing on that, but I'm going to turn it to Gold Chunker because I'm going to need some luck for this. So that's him. Oh wait, yeah, I'll use his impact grenades instead of his barbed wire because I feel like I can open up walls and get to different rooms and stuff a lot easier. Like if I'm out of the objective and they're capturing, I can bust a wall next to me with an impact, go around the side. They'll think I'll come from the impact grenade. I just so I'm not doing very well, am I? I just busted open the impact grenade. They're gonna think I'm coming through there. I'll go through a door behind them, shoot them in the back, or I do just come through the hole and I throw 2 impact grenades. But I've usually used an impact grenade already if it's bomb, so I don't usually do that much. Second is mute. I actually used the shotgun for him again. I just really like to shoot the shotgun. I mean, it's not that great, but I really like it. I don't use sights. The only reason I really like this shotgun, and I use it over his MP5 variant, is because I've got the Woody skin for it, and that skin is badass as all hell. I don't play mute, but I mean, I used to use this skin for Smoke before I got the Cobalt one, and it was a cool skin. It was just a cool skin. I liked it a lot. I mean, a lot. I was addicted to this thing. I used it on like all the shotguns I could, which are 4 shotguns really. But anyway, next on the Castle. I've mentioned earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of Castle because the only castles I ever run into lock me out of the objective or lock me into the objective or something. But I'm alright as him. I, I'm not that bothered about his gadget because I've had bad experiences. Like this one time, I was running my main, I guess. That's recruit with the shotgun that Bandit uses. I can't remember what that's called. I'm gonna have to remember what that's called. But anyway, I used him, and well, I couldn't get into the objective because I was using smoke grenades instead of breaching charge, and I was just locked out for the entire match, and my entire team was dead. The last like minute of that match was really embarrassing. I managed to get a kill. I managed to go around the side, go to the one that had already been breached. Managed to shoot Jaeger through there, but that was about it. I got locked out for the rest of it, and I mean I couldn't get in. By the time I did breach, they just shot me to pieces because they knew where I was coming from because they were just pumping shells into it with a shotgun. But anyway, he's UMP5 45, I guess. I quite like it with their reflex sights. This is pretty good. Um, I I use reflex sights over red dot anytime, even though everyone's like, oh, you should just use uh like, is it red dot? Am I getting these wrong? Let me check. Let me check. Hollow. Yeah, everyone says you should hollow with pretty much hollow or ACOG. Hollow with most SMGs who don't have ACOG. But I have a thing for the reflex. I don't know. It just works well for me. Again, don't have any headgear. He's not one of my favourites. Pulse. Now I did use him for ages. This was after he got nerfed. I found out about how good he was. He was the last operator I unlocked, and I never really used him. And I use his shotgun plainly because if I know someone's through a wall, I can just blast them to pieces with it. I do use the red dot, well, laser sight, and I use the holographic on it. I use a cobalt weapon skin because I did main him for a while, as I said. I use his C4 obviously, so I can breach through a wall if there's a defender on, like, attacker on the other side. I don't take. I cannot talk today. I don't TK much, which is team kill. I should have said team kill. Anyway, but when I do it with C4. Oh my god, he has a uniform. No, he doesn't. Why does I keep clicking on the uniform tab and like no uniform show? Is that glitch or they just, I don't know. Doc. Doc, he was like the second to last one I unlocked. And I quite like the P90. I know not a lot of people like it. I personally just like the P90 for it's a headshot machine basically. You miss a shot, you hit in the body, goes up by itself and hits the rest. I use the revolver, of course, like I do with pretty much, yeah, I think all of the Jinjin operators. I have the royal skin for it because I made Montaigne. I was getting it for that, but then I put the cobalt on afterwards. So you know, it kind of changed. So next is Rook. He's basically Doc, but just a bit better, and you don't have to put as much effort in. He's not better, you just don't have to put as much effort in, really. Oh wait, I use his shotgun actually, because his shotgun has great hip fire. That's what I've noticed about this. He has great hip fire. I don't know. I just really like the hip fire on this thing. It's just, I'm trying to aim on the barrel, but I can't. Anyway, I use the laser sight to improve the hip fire, of course. I use the vertical grip for recoil, because I like the Jinjin's shotguns because they can use the vertical grip. And I use the reflex, like I do with most things, but I hardly ever ADS, so it doesn't really matter. Next up, we have the man himself, Capcom. He has a little Santa charm, and I made his weapon look like actual cheese. I mean, his weapon is literally cheese. I used the submachine gun, and it literally looks like cheese. I've got the skin on it. I can't remember what the skin's called. Let me just check. How do you pronounce it? Verkh. Verk. It's a Russian thing. I can't speak Russian. I use the holographic, the compensator, and the vertical grip. And I have the invisible hat currently equipped, or I'm going to change it to Santa Capcom. Or Capcom Santa. Just because I've got that charm now and it's really cool. I use the PMM, which is I think the same one that I use for the other operators. Yeah, it is. I don't have any attachments on this because I don't play him much. I did play him for a while. As I said, back when I was trying to get Christmas skins, I would play him because I needed like 30 gadget kills. His gadget, I thought, oh, if I wanted casual, I could probably get a few kills with it. Next, have our Lord and Savior himself, Tachanka. I mean, I use Saga 12 because the submachine doesn't have a golden skin. But basically, I got gold Tachanka. That's the only way of putting it. I got gold Tachanka. And the barrel, I don't have a silenced one, but I'm probably going to put one on. just because a silenced shotgun is a good shotgun. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's better to have an unsilenced shotgun. They can hear their death coming. I have the PPM, as I do for all the operators, apart from this one isn't silenced. Actually, I might silence that. I have the muzzle brake, but I might silence it along with the shotgun. I can be a silent chunker, which isn't great because I'm going to have 3 arm and I clank around like a maniac. But you know, I'm a silent chunker. If I come out my turret, I'm like a ninja. A chunker. I want to say Nichunka. Anyway, next up we have J-Dub. I tried maining him, that's why I have the Cobalt weapon skin on him. It didn't work. It just straight up didn't work. His carbine I thought would be great, but no, I like the M870. That shotgun is amazing. I don't play Jaeger anymore, even though I have like the Cobalt skin on him. I just don't play him. I used it with holographic, because I prefer like that close encounter scope over the reflex ACOG. I know a lot of people like the ACOG because it's one of the few guns that has the ACOG on it, but you know, what few depending on it has ACOG. So the laser sight, I'll keep that on it. I think it was one of the ones I unlocked early, so I put the laser sight on it because it looks pretty cool. I have the flash hider. What's flash hider? That's small burst recoil. I can do small burst recoil, which is probably why I failed horribly. The vertical grip I use because why wouldn't you use the vertical grip? It just gives you advantages, there's no disadvantage to it. And here's something I want to go over. The P12, this handgun is actually alright, and I quite like it, but you know, it's like any other handgun, laser sight, and actually I don't have the silence on this, I have the compensator, no muzzle brake, sorry, because I don't know, I just never see myself going very quiet with this guy. Alright, next up, we have Bandit, who I'm thinking about maining for year 2. I mean, I can't do the Bandit trick, because I prefer to roam, because roaming's something I've never really wanted to do, I've stayed away from because of Kavera, and how she's a fucking wanker, and how she constantly got behind me and shot me, and how when I got interrogated by her, I felt like I was letting my entire team down, and how they all yelled at me in the chat because I lost a fucking ranked match. They're a bunch of cunts, and look where I am now, I've got fucking gold, and I checked on one of their things, and they actually had silver, so fuck them. I have a bit of resentment towards them. But anyway, I've started to main him because of his shotgun. Now, I didn't know how good his shotgun was until I tried it. This thing is amazing. The M870 is probably my favourite shotgun in this game. I use the laser sight, and that's about it. I don't use the sights. I use iron sights instead of using any like anything else. So I feel like the iron sights in this gun are amazing. I really like the iron sights for this. I have the gold chunker charm and the cobalt skin because this is going to be my main. Well, it might be. I might quit because there's a lot of good bandits out there and I'm not really one of them. I use the C4 because I think it's better for roaming. And yeah, that about covers Bandit. I don't have like any headgear for him. I might get headgear for him if I actually made him, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go full on Bandit. So yeah, there's a bit of a problem there. Anyway, last is the only DLC. Crap, I forgot what it. Operator. Yeah, operator. So operator that you don't need to operate on me because I'm an operator. Anyway, he's the only DLC operator I got for the defensive team, and he's Echo. I'm not sure if I've said that. Can't remember if I have. Anyway, his gadget, I personally can't be asked about it. I mean, since I've started trying roaming, I feel like he's a pretty good roamer. I mean, he has that 3 arm, but he's a pretty good roamer. Just go into where you think they're going to enter from, hide in the corner, so you can kind of get behind them, use your yokai to find out where they are, and you just kind of go out and flank them. But that's not why I use him. That'd be a logical reason to use him. The reason I use him is because of his MP5 SD. This is probably my favourite gun. You know how I said before, the G36C is my second favourite gun? This is probably my favourite gun. This thing is amazing. It's not my favourite gun to, it's not actually the one I'm best with, which is of course the shotgun that I talked about earlier, which is the one I'm best with, and it's like, my best gun in this game. But best guns actually in all games of all time, MP5s and G36C. Like, this MP5 is probably my favourite because of the silencer, built-in silencer. It just sounds really cool. I use the angle grip because, I don't know, I just really like the look of this. Just the look of this gun just really fascinates me. I don't know what it is about it. It's just beautiful. I've got the Cobalt weapon skin, even though I don't main him, just because I love the gun so much. For a while, I did use the ACOG sights and the holographic sights, but I've ended up using no sights and actually sticking with the iron sights because I really like the iron sights on this gun. They're really, really nice. I don't know what it is about them. They just attract me to them. I just really, really like. You get the idea. I really like the iron sights on this gun. Anyway, this is one of the reasons why I love this gun. Just the iron sights alone could keep me talking for hours, and it pretty much has. But at the end of the day, the only secondary I'm going to be using is not the P22-9. Even though actually looking at it now, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but the bearing 9. Ooh, baby. This thing, I don't know, it feels like the SMG 11 all over again. Why would you use a handgun when you can have, like, an machine gun pistol? Same thing with the new operators. Why have anything else when you can use a shotgun as a secondary and their primary? You might have noticed I'm a bit of a fan of shotguns. Well, yes, I am. And I feel as if you have a shotgun. If you combine it with another shotgun, then you're the ultimate shotgun god. That's why I love Doom so much. Because that had the best shotgun in gaming. The double barrel. That shotgun is my childhood. That shotgun is my everything. That shotgun can empty both barrels into you at the same time and fucking end you. I just really like it. Anyway, I was actually thinking about using the P22-9, but at the same time, bearing auto. P22-9, bearing auto. I can't decide. This thing looks really cool, but I mean at the same time, it's silver and stuff. I really like it, but they've got the option to use a bearing auto. I might try it out in like competitive or something. Oh, actually, the size on this looks amazing. If you don't know, I'm just going through this, buying all the stuff for the P22-9 at the moment. I just realised I really like this gun, but I guess I'm probably not going to use it since you've got the bearing. Another thing about the bearing, I use laser sights on it because this thing is accurate as fuck when you're not ADSing. What's it called when you're not ADSing? Well, what would you call that? Hipfire. This thing's hipfire is pretty good. It's pretty accurate. I'm not sure if it's actually accurate or the one time I used it and it looked really accurate because it was kind of like they were touching the laser, the little red dot. It was actually touching it, so I was like, wow, this is probably really fucking accurate. I bet it's not. I bet I just think it's accurate. Anyway, next time I use Echo, I'm probably going to use his pistol just to see what it's like. I use his barbed wire because I feel like barbed wire is a tool that not many people use and I quite like. And his deployable shield, I used to use that, but I don't know. I always find somewhere to hide now where I don't need the deployable shield. Alright, so that's all for the defensive operators. I would show some gameplay, but I don't know how to do that. And my OTS, or is it OTS? I don't know. I don't know how to work it. It just fucking doesn't work. Probably look up a tutorial, make my videos a lot better. But when I did, it would just get a frozen screen and it would just be boring. Kind of like this, where it is a frozen screen and boring. There we go. Look, different image now. Now it's not boring. It's all kind of boring. A bit boring. Right, anyway, I guess I'm going to talk about my main now. My main, I use the Recruit. I really like the Recruit, and I use him with... How can I never remember what this shotgun's called? I should probably like write it down or something. Let me check. The M870? 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 I don't know. I don't know how guns work. M870. That with the Recruit, and you've got your C4, you've got your barbed wire, on the wire plane, you've got your barbed wire, and I just think it works pretty well, because if you're a Recruit, people underestimate you, so that helps as well. When you're not a Recruit, people underestimate me anyway. Some shit. But anyway, since I uploaded that gameplay, I've got better. Miles, but Jesus Christ, that's so shit. But I'm not that good now, but I'm better. I'm thinking about getting the DLC operators, because Mira, as I've said before, she's got the shotgun, she's got the other shotgun. That's just the dream there. So I guess that's everything I've gone through now. the attacking, defending. I guess I'm just pandering now, really, aren't I? Because I can't think of a fucking outro. Can I try and do dubstep with my voice? So, oh, and there's that discount offer on a PC fix. Let's just fucking end it. I can't think of an outro. Let's just cut this down.